Adolf Hitler, one of history's most infamous villains, wasn't just full of hatred, he was also full of gas. Seriously, the man couldn't stop farting. It was so bad, even his inner circle couldn't ignore it. Stick around, because this is the story of how the Führer's flatulence became the stuff of gross historical legend. Adolf Hitler, leader of the Third Reich, had a lot going on. Genocidal ambitions, delusions of grandeur, and, apparently, the digestive system of a malfunctioning whoopee cushion. Thanks to some surviving medical records, and the accounts of his personal physician, Dr. Theodor Morell, we know Hitler was plagued by chronic gastrointestinal problems throughout his life. And when I say chronic, I mean the man was a walking symphony of gastric distress, bloating, cramping, constipation, and, most importantly for this video, unrelenting flatulence. According to Morell, it could clear a room faster than an air raid siren. Now, let's talk about what caused this non-stop toot parade. Hitler was famously a vegetarian. While this was partly out of his personal beliefs, it was also because he thought a plant-based diet was healthier. What he didn't realize was that his love for beans, lentils, and cabbage wasn't just fueling his delusions, it was also fueling a fart factory in his gut. Picture this: Hitler sitting down to a meal of lentil soup and steamed cauliflower, blissfully unaware that his insides are about to turn into a literal gas chamber. Yeah, irony doesn't even begin to cover it. But it wasn't just his diet. Hitler also took a ridiculous amount of experimental medications and supplements. Dr. Morell had him popping pills like they were candy, including drugs for his stomach issues. Some of these contained belladonna, an herb with, questionable effectiveness, and others were packed with laxatives, which might explain gastrointestinal chaos. Hitler's staff were the people who had to deal with his tantrums, his rants, and apparently, his farts. Albert Speer, Hitler's favorite architect, even wrote about it in his memoirs. He described Hitler as a man in constant physical discomfort, whose digestion was so bad it interrupted meetings. According to some accounts, the Führer's flatulence was so persistent that it embarrassed Hitler himself, which, let's be real, might be the only time he ever felt shame. Dr. Morell tried to help, but let's just say his methods weren't exactly cutting-edge science. Morell prescribed Hitler 28 different medications, including Mutaflor, which contained live bacteria to supposedly balance his gut. Morell also injected Hitler with all sorts of bizarre concoctions, like vitamins, hormones, and something called bull semen extract. Unfortunately for everyone involved, these cures just made things worse. So why are we talking about this? Sure, it's funny to think of one of history's most evil men as being crippled by his own digestive system. But there's more to it than just toilet humor. Hitler's constant discomfort might have contributed to his increasingly erratic behavior. Some historians even speculate that his reliance on Morell's experimental treatments amplified his paranoia and delusions. In a way, Hitler's farts weren't just embarrassing. They were a symptom of the larger, self-inflicted chaos that defined the entire Nazi regime. Adolf Hitler, dictator, mass murderer, and gaseous man in the room. While his crimes against humanity are no laughing matter, the fact that he couldn't control his own digestive system is a tiny reminder that even history's biggest villains were embarrassingly human. Thanks for tuning in to Gross History. I have been Professor Ricardo Fratelli. Please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what historical gross-out moment you want us to cover next. Until then, remember, no matter how bad your day is, at least you're not Hitler with a belly full of lentils.